So let's go over some solutions and some stuff you do. I think this is one of your favorites that you started in 2017, and it's intermittent fasting, fast versus feast. How do people start? Why did you start? Let's talk about it.
My engineer son came home from school, and he was an engineering student at LSU, but he also played intramural sports. And a lot of the intramural guys were doing this intermittent fasting to get cut. And we were about to go to the Olympics in 2018 in Rio, and a lot of the Olympians were doing this intermittent fasting, which everyone thinks, well, you're starving yourself. And Gibson, my son Gibson, my big name, came in and said, no, it's not about starving yourself. It's actually, you're either in the fasted state or the fed state. He started explaining some of the things of autophagy, which is a magical cellular clean out. But when he came and sat down and told me about it, I said, if you're telling me this because you think your mother needs to lose weight, you won't see your 21st birthday, because he was 20. He said, no, I'm telling you because you like all things health, because I've always been a health student.
Yeah.
And I said, tut, sit down, tell me more. And he just said, it was the day after Thanksgiving in 2017, he said, it was 6:30. He goes, well, don't eat again until tomorrow at 12:30. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, drink water, black coffee, unsweetened tea, sparkling water, still water. What about my stevia? Nope, it stops the fasting process. And once I started understanding that your weight issues are not about calories, it's about how much insulin you're regulating. So your brain has your hypothalamus, which is kind of your endocrine epicenter, and it tells your body to either burn fat or burn fuel. And so right now, I haven't eaten since 4 o'clock yesterday. It's been almost 20 hours since I've eaten. Do I have energy? Am I?
Yeah.
I did a 5-day fast last summer because my GI doc thought he saw a precancerous adenoma in my colon. It was not, but I did that to thwart off any cancer cells.
It might be trying to grow.
That was trying to grow, but it wasn't. But all that to say, I did it. I didn't love it. I don't. And again, this is not medical advice. I'm telling you what I have to do to mitigate my health concerns. Again, generations of type 2 diabetes in my family. So Gibson was explaining that once insulin is released, you're in fat storing. So even if you drink that Diet Coke with how many calories?
0.
But it has flavor, so your body has to send out insulin to usher glucose to the cells. The minute it does that, you're in fat storing mode. So I reduce my fat storing mode hours to about 4 to 6 hours a day.
That's all you eat a day, 4 to 6 hours?
Yeah, but girl, I eat well because I'm a carnivore.
Darren's nodding.
Yes, I do. I'm meat based in what I eat. And so yesterday, the last time I ate, yesterday at lunch, I had a ribeye steak at lunch and 2 eggs. And then that was like at noon. And about 4 o'clock, I had some bone broth because it has a lot of fat and all the wonderful things for your skin. I wanted to have that, and I had some eggs and a little chicken for the protein. And then I was done. Like, I'm not on a diet. I'm the same size I was in my 20s. I don't have a fat stomach, and I'm not criticizing anyone who does. But if you look down and you have a stomach, it's a hormonal imbalance, and not just your sex hormones. It's insulin regulation, it's ghrelin, it's leptin, it's peptide YY. So you are hormonally wired to eat and to stop eating. My hormonal wiring hasn't even told me to eat yet. I'm really not even hungry yet. I could go 24 hours. I eat when my signal tells me, and then I stop so many times during the middle of the meal, stop and go, can't eat anymore, because my hormonal wiring is like a red light and I can't eat anymore. So I eat well in that time. Do I drink if I drank alcohol, I would do it in that time. If I ate desserts, I would do it in that time. I just don't. I get full so easily, and I'm trying to eat.
Do you eat
meat-based.
desserts?
I did last week. They had a little surprise party for me, and so I had the delicious cake from Dee's, delicious desserts.
Gluten-free?
That was not, and that did have wheat in it. Sometimes if I really have a hankering, I'll go to Dempsey and get something, but I eat it within my feasting hours. And then
you mean if I start fasting like this, you think I could go back to eating gluten?
Probably not. Gluten is so inflammatory.
It kills me. Mm-hmm. I miss pasta. Good pasta.
Now, have you done the ancient grain pasta?
I don't know. There is gluten-free pastas that I get.
They're not great. They break apart and all that. So there's an ancient grain.
Oh, I'm writing this down.
Yeah, ancient grain.
My coach. I told you you'd get free advice.
So
ancient
grain pastas, and see if you can tolerate that better. Einkorn wheat. There's some other things that have not been genetically modified. Once Monsanto got in the business, the wheat crop used to be yay high, and I know this is radio for some of you and you can't see. But
She's doing a foot or two.
That's right. And then the bigger the better, the tighter the sweater. Then Monsanto made it go, they don't know what that means. That was a saying in the 70s.
Do you know what that means,
I
Greg?
do, yeah.
And
big
then
boobs. Okay.
the wheat crop got this big, so we genetically modified it. Well, our bellies, our little abdomen said, that's a foreign item to me. And so that's why people burp to get tired. Oh, my husband has gluten. He's snorting across the house because his is nasopharyngeal. It's not GI.
See how many good words she knows. I really do. You know what I see in your future, because you do love learning. You're going to be a doctor before this is over with.
You know, part of it is I'm not smart. I just have
whatever.
I memorize. I understand what I love. But the second thing is I couldn't go to something that is bought and paid for by Big Pharma and Big Food.
Oh, that would be against your...
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it.
So some other things about your meat diet that I listened to one of your doctors, who is also a professional athlete.
Dr. Anthony Chafee. He was good.
He only eats meat and says plants have a defense chemical that he learned about in his botany class. And Son Gray, I called your brother Jack, who is
The horticulturalist,
PhD in horticulture, and I asked him, and he said, yes, chemicals, plants do have defense chemicals, but they've been genetically modified. I don't know about all of that. And I said, well, this guy says he only eats meat. Tell our listeners why he says that.
Well, you should see him. He's done it for 22 years. You can look up Dr. Anthony Chafee. You can look up Dr. Paul Saladino, Dr. Robert Kiltz. These are people, Dave Asprey, who's famous in the biohacking world. They're all former vegans. They were the sickest they ever were as vegans, because you produce testosterone when you have the amino acids and other things that meat provide. So that's why Travis Barker, Kourtney Kardashian's husband, is the size of a pencil, because he's a vegan. So you can't bulk up. So men often want to be strong, and women need testosterone, especially as we age. So I do it for hormonal health, and that's why a lot of people do it. The sickest Dave Asprey said he ever was, he was great in the beginning as a vegan, because you get off all the crap.
Yes.
Which is great, meaning no more drive-thrus, no more packaged foods.
Right.
But then you start doing packaged foods because it says it's vegan. Well, you know, cornflakes are vegan, but I would say never eat cereal. I mean, it's so bad for you.
Yeah. Some people are vegan because they have animal rights.
Then that's a different story. And I'm not here to persuade anybody about their belief system, but I'm saying for a health system,
he's got a good argument.
He does have a good argument.
Dr. Jason Beck came on the radio, and his father was on he's a vegan. His family and parents were on all kinds of high blood pressure medicine, and he became a vegan, and he got his family, and all are now vegans, and they grow their own vegetables.
Right.
And he says that his father is now off all medications because he's vegan.
And I'm not here to argue with anybody. Whatever works for you. It's called bioindividuality.
There you go.
If you liked this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the picture of Kerry's face in the center of the screen. For more of Kerry's interviews, click either video on the right of the screen. And as always, thank you for watching.